Welcome back, everybody. This is Chad of Chapman Cars and Tech, and I'm going to do an update on the BlackVue750 2-channel LTE Dashcam. I think I've discovered a failure mode, and there it goes. It's going to do a continuous loop of these announcements without actually filming anything. So we'll flip the camera over so you can see what's going on. So there's the unit. This has happened to me twice before. So the first time I did some research and they indicated that maybe you should reformat your SD card. So I did that and it started working right away. And then the other day it started doing it again, and I know that the camera has been sitting in the sun with the car facing the sun the entire day, or a good part of the day, and was doing this. So when I got home, I started to experiment around. So what if it's the SD card that was bad? So I took out a spare SD card that I have that I know it's good as the one that came with the camera, the 16 gigabyte one, put it in there, and it did the same thing. So I think this might be a heating issue. So when the dash cam sits out in the sun all day, certain components are going to be hot, and that's what's causing this. So I want to experiment around and see what I can to get this to stop. It's been weird because I've been in the car for about 40 minutes driving around, and I've had the AC cranked up pretty good, and it's still doing this. So I'll do some more investigation, maybe power cycling the thing on, disconnecting the power, see what I can get. Before I move on, I do want to mention that I forgot about one thing I did the other day. Was I tried to reset the flash card using, I'm holding a phone, this is not really good. So I tried to press this button here, hold it in for about 5 seconds, and usually it will reformat the SD card, and that did work because the OS of the dash cam is just constantly trying to go through an infinite loop because of some kind of condition that it's in. So there, it didn't work. So we'll see if I can start powering off and plugging, taking the SD card out, and see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to power off the car. Close the door. Interstate 64 is pretty loud. So because the power saving feature for the camera that came with the kit is going to keep on doing this while the car is off. So I want to open up the compartment where I have this power saver feature. I'm going to turn it off. As you can tell, the LED is no longer on. So now the camera is off. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to turn the power switch on. And turn on the car. Make sure the volume is off so I don't get a copyright notice. Alright, so this is normal when boot up. And that is normal. Let's see if it will do this infinite loop thing. we verified it's still in a failure mode. So we're going to turn off the car. Turn off the switch. On, off. So now the camera should not have any power. Let's try unplugging some stuff. So that's for the rear camera. Let's pull out this SD card. So doesn't feel warm. Looks like it's in good condition. So let's put it back in. If this continues, I might have to get my 360-degree camera so I can just mount it on the windshield so I don't have to hold the iPhone. All right, so we're going to power on the car. I'm doing this with the AC off because the AC is going to make a lot of noise. It's not too bad in here. Well, I might be if I stay here for a few more minutes. Okay. So the camera's booting up.
Starting normal recording.
I might have to add a segment to this video where I look up some troubleshooting steps. I'm not sure if I need to go that far yet. And also this is the camera that was given to me by BlackVue, so I'm not sure how the warranty is going to work on that. Well, I still have my backup camera, the 900 series one, so I still have something. All right, let's wait, see if it keeps on doing this. All right, so it's still in the failure mode. I want to stop the video for a second. I'm going to take the camera out and just put in front of these vents here and see if that will work. All right, so I'm going to have to speak over the AC. So I'm trying to hold it over the vent here for a little bit. Does feel kind of warm. I know that the camera is designed specifically to help dissipate heat because of the big grilling here, the holes. So I think that's for in operation use because when you're driving around the car, you will have the AC on in the hot days, so it's going to be more effective, I think, but I haven't really tested that theory out yet. So I do need to do some time driving around in a hot day. What's interesting is that I got this camera back in August of 2020 at the tail end of the summer, and it was still hot then, but I didn't notice this failure mode. So we're going to do some more investigation and see what's going on. So So I'm going to cut the video and put the camera back onto its mount, and we'll be back with no AC on. Okay, so I just plugged the camera back in. Just only took a couple of seconds, and we'll see what happens. So the LED lights are starting to show that it's initiating.
For your safe driving. Starting normal recording. Cloud connected.
Okay, so now we're going to wait and see if it does it again.
BlackVue for your safe driving. Starting normal recording.
And then it's still in failure mode.
Cloud connected.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a while, for a few hours. It's still pretty hot. We'll wait for things to cool down and see if it's still in a failure mode later on.
BlackVue for your safe driving.
Okay, so just to have this on video, I have a 16 gigabyte BlackVue SD card here. Just got to get it out of its holder. So that's the one that came with the camera. Known good. So we're going to take the 256 gigabyte one and replace it with the 16 gig. Not doing a good job of holding the camera. Let's see what happens. Put the car back into its normal size adapter, just so I don't lose it.
BlackVue for your safe driving. Starting normal recording.
Get some AC going on real quick, it's getting hot. Now we wait. So we know it's not the SD card. So we'll replace the original one, and we'll see if we can try to cool it down for a little bit more. Okay, for another section of, I said I was going to do something, but I did something else. So we're going to try reformatting the SD card just to show you what I did. It's not good enough for me to describe what I did and not actually do it. So I want to take the SD card out of this dash cam here, and on the screen here are the instructions for reformatting the SD card for your camera. I'll have that in a link in the description below. So this page here has a instructions for Windows and instructions for Mac. So I have to put the SD card in this weird this device here, if it'll go in. Yeah, one of these things. If you have a Mac, newer Mac, you gotta get one of these annoying things. So we're going to mount the SD card, and it's showed up on the desktop. So power off Dashcam, take out SD card, yeah. So you can read that for yourself. So we'll get to the part here. So we open up disk utility. And you see that it is mounted, it's recognized. Seems good. So you click in the erase menu, or you can just click erase here, and it says MS-DOS FAT, not FAT32. Then click erase, and it will do its thing. Operation was successful. We're going to unmount the SD card, and we're going to go back to the car and see what happens.
Please do not disconnect the power.
Okay, we're back in the car, and now wants to format the SD card for some reason.
Restarting.
And turn on the car. So yeah, right when I press record, it says formatting SD card, then
Utilizing SD card.
restarting.
Not disconnect the power. Restarting.
We'll see if this does anything.
BlackVue for your safe driving.
Okay.
Starting normal recording.
Yeah, sometimes in this loop it'll say cloud connected, and then it will go back to BlackVue for your safe driving. So it was only doing 2 announcements. Before it was doing 3 announcements. So let's see what happens.
BlackVue for your safe driving.
And it's still doing it.
Starting normal recording.
So
Cloud connected.
I guess we're going to wait for a few hours and see what happens. For real.
Formatting SD card. Please do not disconnect the power. Restarting.
Welcome to another segment of I was going to do something and I did something else. So I did some research, and one of the troubleshooting steps is to make sure that
Initialize SD card.
this in here, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with the wiring. And what I did was I connected the 900 series dash cam up to see if I get the same looping error. So I'm just waiting for
BlackVue for your safe driving.
the camera to start doing its thing and start recording.
Starting normal recording.
So pro tip here, before you put an SD card in this dash cam, you need to make sure it's formatted first so it'll accept it, because the card that I had in this dash cam here was originally in here, and it was giving me a bad camera error because it detected a different model, and it was wanted to have, I guess, the files. The files, I guess there's some configuration files for each type of camera, and it detected it was something else, and it wanted information for this camera. So it says unauthorized camera because it's not connected to my BlackVue account. So that's why it gave me that warning. That just means that it can't connect it to the cloud app until I added it back on. But it looks like it's recording. So I guess now we just wait and see if there's something wrong with this one here. Okay, I'm back again. So I did a quick check. So I took the SD card out of the 900 series 4K camera, and I want to make sure that it is indeed recording and doing what I think it should be doing. So I do have some film. It's 1 minute long, so that's good. So nothing wrong with the wiring. So it's now just a hurry up and wait game and see what happens. Okay, I'm back. So I got on the phone with technical support, and I explained to them the situation, and what they suggested that I do is I refresh the firmware, reinstall it. So the way they advised me to do it is to download the BlackVue viewer app, and then they gave me some instructions. So I have the instructions here. So I'm looking here. So first step is download the PC viewer. So check. Turn off the dash cam, take out the SD card. I had done that. After getting a backup of necessary recordings, I don't need to do that. Click on the format icon and format it as, okay, so SD card viewer. All right. I guess I need to grant that access. So click on the format icon and format it as, if I can find it. There it is. And then it's the same thing that we did before. So erase MS-DOS FAT. I know this is kind of redundant, but in order to clearly portray what they're trying to do, I got to go through all the instructions. So that is successful. So now download the latest firmware for your dash cam model from our website. So open link, firmware update, multi-language. Last updated May 10, 2021. So you download it. So while we're waiting for it to download, so let's see here, I need to get some more windows going on here. So I need this here, open downloads, so it gets unzipped automatically. So unzip download firmware and copy the BlackVue folder onto the SD card. Insert SD card to BlackVue device and turn on the camera for upgrading firmware. So I have to copy it or move it. So we're now ready to start step 7. So be back in a couple minutes and see if we can get something going on. All right, we're back in the car. Let's see if this trick works. So it's in neutral, so I don't like do something silly. I did that actually before. All right, so now we wait. And you got some LEDs lighting up.
Please do not disconnect the power.
So that's a good sign. It's smart enough to know to force and update. This might take a while, so we'll cut back after it is updated. Okay, that actually didn't take long. It's now doing a restart.
Formatting SD card. Please do not disconnect the power.
Okay, I know this is kind of boring, but this is, I guess this is good for completeness. In case someone wants to really go through the whole process. I'll try to make sure that there are chapter selections in the video, so if you only want to go to this part, you can. Maybe this will be,
SD card.
maybe I should have said that at the beginning of the video.
The power. Restarting.
But yeah, I'm just saying that after the fact. Get some AC going on.
BlackVue for your safe driving. Starting normal recording.
All right, this is the real test. Are you fixed? Are you fixed?
Cloud connected.
Okay. That's kind of a good sign. Because earlier when I started doing this, it was only doing the first 2 announcements, and then it started doing the 3rd announcement for the cloud connecting.
BlackVue for your safe driving.
And
Starting normal recording.
it didn't fix it. Okay, so I just got back on a call with technical support, and I talked to the same person that helped me out earlier in the afternoon. I gave him an update that the steps that I have completed did not fix the problem. So I explained to them that it was a product that was sent to me by the marketing team, and they're going to see what they can do to help me with the product and see if we get a new one. So yeah, this was kind of a like an interesting afternoon, and I know that this might have been like a pre-production model, so there might have been things wrong with it, or things that could have gotten wrong before they've been able to harden the device. I have no idea, but yeah, it's been a really fun experience. The good thing is that I have a backup camera, the 900 series, so I will be putting that in, and I will give everyone an update on what happens next. Thank you for watching the video. If you